So today we're joined over here with Steve from Teba, an IT company down in Melbourne, Australia, and operation across multiple different cities in Australia. And we're talking about the ABM campaign that they're running and how that's turned out and some of the outcomes for that. So before we dive in, Steve, thanks a lot for being here. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. My pleasure, Shahin.
I love it. And I love, the work from home, in your case, work from the beach kind of attitude. I'm totally digging it. I know earlier you showed me the view of the beach. So I love it. I love it. But Steve, can you tell us a little bit about Tebow and what you guys do?
Yeah, certainly, Shahin. Look, as you said, we're based in Melbourne. We sort of operate along the eastern border of Australia. And we mainly help medium and large corporates allow their users to get secure access to their apps and data, whether they're in remote offices or, as we're all doing these days, working from home. So our job is to make sure that they get easy and secure access to those apps and data.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So the first thing that I want to ask you is, we started working together on a pilot ABM campaign. What's been the outcome? What's happening? Paint us a picture.
Yeah, interesting. And given topical as of this recording, Victoria's in lockdown and apparently going into curfews and all sorts of fun stuff today. And in New South Wales, we're in lockdown, and in sunny Queensland, we're out of lockdown for the moment. But basically, even during these times, it's been interesting that the ABM campaign has exceeded my expectations. Like I thought, okay, during normal times, we'll be able to get out there, talk to clients, talk to prospects, and get going. And then the lockdowns hit, and I thought, nah, that's the end of that. We're not going to get anywhere. But obviously, to my surprise, we've actually managed to get through to quite a few people, and we've got a whole lot of appointments and a whole bunch of things that we can potentially help our clients with. So I'm just blown away that during a pandemic and during a lockdown, we're actually able to get through to people, and they're willing to have conversations with us.
I love it. I know. I mean, lockdown is always a concern, and we always kind of try to maneuver around it and make sure that we wrote something out that it actually works. But can you give us a little bit of an idea about the campaign itself and what it looks like?
Yeah, sure. So we've specifically gone to current clients and prospects with what's really bothering them at the moment. And all this working from home, working remotely, brings up a lot of security issues for our clients. So there is a worry that all this sort of access that people are getting from home, that it will create a security hole in their environments. And it's shown to have created security holes. I'm sure most people have seen on the news and online a whole bunch of not so small companies have been compromised lately. And there's a couple of famous ones which I won't name the company, but they got compromised due to one of their partners logging in to their environment. So their partner got compromised, and because they were connected in, they got compromised. So our ABM campaign focused on making sure that people were aware that the systems that they had for basic remote access, like VPNs and things like that, really can be a security hole. So what we did in our campaign is we sent people a physical safe just to pique their interest. Say, hey, if you want security, we handle security, and we made it a little bit more interesting by making sure that they couldn't get into the safe by themselves, where we sent the actual combination to another team member in their organization. So it required two people to actually get in and have a look at what's inside that safe.
Multi-factor authentication all the way, huh? I love it.
That's it. That's the technical term, multi-factor authentication.
I love it. Steve, what were there any highlights from running the campaign that you weren't expecting to happen?
Yeah, it was interesting. Basically, as I said, we sent out a physical safe, and we had a couple of interesting stories where some people tried to get into the safe without finding the person with the actual PIN. And we actually had a particular client of ours managed to break into the safe, which was good. We don't mind if they break into the. It's a physical safe, but they were able to get access to the contents, and therefore we had a bit of a good chuckle about it when we eventually spoke to them.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's always really important to have fun in the campaigns and kind of incorporate that humor piece in there. Now, if someone is thinking of doing an ABM campaign, what advice would you give them?
Well, it's interesting. We've tried many different campaigns in the past. We've run physical events, we've run online events, and they've worked to different degrees. The big difference I've seen with the ABM campaign is that it's not left to chance. Basically, there's a plan for every prospect and every customer that we want to reach out to. And we do very specific things, or you guys have helped us to do very specific things that not only will get the customer's attention, but get their attention in the right way. So marrying the message and the needs of the customer with what we can do to help them.
Got it. No, that's a really good point. And you're right. If it's again that generic process that has challenges of its own, and I think a lot of people have experienced the limitations of that. Tell me a little bit about what's your experience been working with xGrowth?
Yeah, it's been fun and funny at the same time. So yeah, given, as I said, with the lockdowns that we're having, you guys have been super flexible. I know we've had to sort of start and stop the campaign a little bit because when we're talking about doing physical things with clients, if they're not in the office, then we have to make a time to make sure that they are in the office for the campaign to work. But as I said earlier, super surprising how well it's worked during a pandemic. And yeah, it's been absolutely fun working with your people, Shahin.
No, it's an absolute pleasure working with you as well. We in the team, everybody loves the Teba culture and everything that comes with it. Why in the first place? Obviously, now we've built a relationship and work with each other. But what made you in the first place to kind of consider and going forward with xGrowth, Steve?
Yeah, interesting question, Shahin. One of your people actually rang me and asked me if I could chat for a little bit, and I picked up the call. That was fine. But they proceeded to outline the exact issues we were having with marketing. Like the 6 or 7 things they covered, and I remember that phone call well, was like, yep, we're having that problem. Yep, we're having that problem as well. Yep, we're having that problem as well. So they proceeded to go through 6 or 7 issues that they were the exact issues we were having. Now, I can only presume, and I think I've had it confirmed by your people, that you guys use the same marketing techniques that you're using to help us. So you're drinking your own champagne, as we say. So that phone call was so on point that I said, I actually want an appointment. The person did not have to convince me to have an appointment. I said, yep, get someone to call me. I want to talk.
I love it. And yeah, it's really important because we test all of this out for ourselves as well. Last thing I want to ask you, Steve, is what's one word? If you were going to describe xGrowth in one word, how would you describe xGrowth?
Adaptable.
I'll take it, Steve. That's awesome. Look, is there anything else that you want to mention? If somebody's thinking about working with us, or somebody thinking about doing ABM, is there anything else that you would share?
Well, by the way, as you know, I've already referred you to a couple of other people in our industry and around our industry. And as timing would have it, one of them actually did a campaign with you guys before we finished our campaign, simply because they had the capacity and they were in a different state. And we rang them and got feedback, and they were super impressed. So, it's great that you've been able to help some of our partners as well.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. And look, we always appreciate the support that you've extended to us and the team at xGrowth. So, and really appreciate this conversation as well. Thank you so much. And looking forward to more funny and awesome campaigns coming forward.
Great. Same here, Shahin.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Bye.